And after the game, my dad was hugging my mate Alex, and then he went, "There you go, mate. That's what it feels like."
Oh.
It was so good.
You want to do the song one last time?
What?
One last time? Say goodbye to it. Say goodbye to it. Don't need that anymore. It's been a great ditty. I've loved it. I've enjoyed it, but I don't need it anymore.
I'm going to miss it. I'll tell you, I'm going to miss it.
2, 3, 4. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And off it goes into the sea gently. Goes further and further away from you because it's not your concern anymore. And it's not the concern of Man United either. And
tell you what,
go on.
We've had a great time. You and I, Europa League. It's been wonderful.
It's just, as it's going out to sea.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. And we've got to the final. We've made love to each other, and what a climax it was.
Wonderful.
But I've got to say, it's time to say goodbye now.
Yeah.
Because
beneath you. Not yet.
No,
let's not do
mate,
that.
Look, can I just make something? I can make something clear to everybody. I haven't even thought about the Champions League next season. I could not care less about it right now.
Good.
I don't care. No one in the room that I was in Waterloo, the 400 Spurs fans in the room, come final missile, was going to me, "We're in the Champions League, we're in the Champions." Not a single one. It wasn't even mentioned. No one gives a shit about the Champions League. It was winning that trophy.
Really interesting.
That is it.
Right.
And it is it. That is it. That is it.
Did you know that? Or was that revealed to you in the moment that you became a European champion?
Abundantly clear from the out, especially when I went on the overlap and all they were talking about was that we need the Champions League money. We need the Champions League money. The squad needs to be renovated, and the squad, half the players are not good enough, and the bonuses that are going to be paid if they get into Champions League, that's going to be a problem. And we've got £300 million of amortization to pay. And I was sitting there, I was going, what the f is going on here?
It's got to be more than that, mate.
It's got to be more than that, mate. And I was sitting there and going, this is 90 minutes of football to decide who wins a cup. All that is nonsense. Good. It doesn't matter.
Do you know what? Mate, I think that's really that's why it's good that Spurs won it for a few reasons. One, I think again the what's the word? It's probably not a word. The sort of reaffirmment of it being about the day, the game, the cup, the victory, the trophy, not the Champions League. Because of the weight that you've had. Because I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, we've been doing this pod for 6 years, and can I say, because we're getting near the end of this season, it is still it's my favourite bit of the week, and I love that we get to share our friendship on here with everyone. It's honest, it's so special. But we have been supporting two teams that have done nothing for 6 years, and everyone's still here. Which shows that it's not all about the trophies, but it is all about the trophies, because whatever the trophy that is that you can get, whatever that day you can have, and I had Dan on the spot on the Ripple Effect this week. That the power that day, that affirmation of I'm not an absolute idiot. This is worth it. The power that can give you, the years and years of energy that can give you for your team is huge. And so it is amazing that we've been able to get to this point of 6 years of a podcast where neither of us have actually done anything in terms of our teams. But I'm happy you got the win, because I think if Man United had won it, from what I heard I was listening to different podcasts and previews, for them it was about the Champions League. For them, it wasn't really about the trophy.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was the energy. That was what I was hearing, and when I was hearing that, I was like, "We've got an advantage here. because our players are desperate for this. They want to win. You've seen the footage afterwards, the tears that the players are in. There's that footage of Sonny and Maddison. I mean, I've probably seen everything. Not everyone's seen everything, but
how many times have you cried over the last couple of days?
Not that many, but this morning, like literally, I'd just done a pod with Dan, and I was sort of sitting there, had half an hour to kill, and I'm just watching the celebrations, the explosions, and the fans, and
the explosions.
The explosion of emotion is what I meant to say, but I'm running off about 4 hours sleep in 2 days.
Go easy.
So it's now because I'm tired. It's like the tears of joy come through, and it's just like that's what it is, James. Like what you mentioned, like we haven't won, we don't win. Like, and I'm genuinely, the League Cup is great, right? It is great, but you don't get credit for it, really. You get ridiculed for winning it. It's bizarre, right? Yeah. Newcastle were ridiculed for celebrating in the way that they did, not forgetting completely the fact that this was the first piece of silverware they've had in 5 decades. That's what it was about. It's not about the League Cup. It's about them achieving. It's about the point that what everyone tells you is the point of this sport is to win a competition. And after years of having to kind of navigate this plucky underdog, we'll never quite make it, like we're the shittest of the big six kind of thing, saying, actually, no, we're the real football club. You'll never be us. I'd rather be us and not have the success. I have done mental gymnastics for the last 15, 20 years because Spurs have underperformed on the pitch or performed to expectation based on what we spend, right? Whatever it is, I've found ways of
trying to make it make sense.
Making it sense for me, but also making it feel like we're the actual ones that are winning here, even when we weren't, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we've done in the podcast. And on Wednesday night, and the final whistle, I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
We won. We fucking did it, Jim.
Yeah, mate.
And that was it. That was the energy in the room. Was we did it. We did it. It happened. Look.
Yeah. So go on. Can you paint that whole picture then for me? So you're at Waterloo. You got a social happening there for the Fighting Cock, and there's 400 of you. Did you say?
Yeah, 400 Spurs,
Amazing.
all in this tightly packed into this room. The energy is look. It wasn't. It was loud before the game for obvious reasons. When the game started, that's how tense everybody was, because it kind of quells because you're kind of watching every ball. And the first half kind of flew by. I thought it's relatively good. Perhaps Man United had more of the ball, but we were definitely in the game and looked dangerous at times.
Yeah.
Second half was obviously very, very, very different. Like, it was the opposite. It's the complete opposite of what Ange does or what his philosophy is. But his philosophy is also, as he said, winning, and that's what he ensured us to do. But to sit through that process in this room, it became like a pressure cooker, because everybody was so tense and everybody wanted it so badly. And I've got to say, Jim, right, that last sort of 82 to 97 minutes were completely surreal, because you want something so badly, and Palace fans will understand this completely because they would live through an almost identical second half as well. You want it so bad, but you're acutely aware, because football has taught you this lesson over and over again, especially as a team that doesn't win, that the sting in the tail is coming. This Man United could score here. Yeah. And if it does, and I want this so bad, I'm not sure I can go again. Not that I'd be fine in a couple of days, but in that moment, I was like,
not today. Yeah,
I don't want to do that again. I don't want to craft a narrative that makes it okay. I just want to win. And
you just want to win. Isn't that it? It's just like, can I just? I've waited in this queue for a really long time. Can I just win? Is it all right if it's my turn? Like, I think I've said that. I said that before. When was it?
When's our turn?
It's Colombia. Like, Colombia, the penalties. Isn't it mad, the things that you scream? You don't know what you're screaming, why you're screaming. It becomes this thing. And I remember in the Colombia-England penalty shootout going, it's our turn. It's like, I think that is it. Like, there's a lot of that thing.
Well, the England, there's massive comparisons towards. I mean, we're not, I guess like if you're looking at the position England find themselves in, Spurs are kind of beneath that in terms of their standing in the world stage. But it's that.
You're in and around it. I think that's the difference here for Tottenham is like, is in and around it. Come back to that, what you're saying, 82 minutes to 97. I said to Kai, we were watching it. We watch it here. I'd like try and analyze it here so we can get the video done. And I said, if you're a Spurs fan now, there's probably a moment where it clicks in your head that you sort of forget the game, and it's like, but let's remember we're Spurs, and that's Man United, and Man United score late. Like they've done all that stuff that Carragher was saying, which I want to come on to, but like all that stuff that people say, if it's true or if it's not true, sometimes it can be self-fulfilling because you sort of make it so, right? And so I was thinking that, and then we were talking about that, and then I was thinking the fans might feel that. The fans might have a moment because all they're doing is watching and thinking of United, like they're you're penned in, aren't you? Harry Maguire's gone up top, like they've done it against Lyon, they've done it against Bayern Munich all those years ago, they've done it before. But I said to Kai, I was like, that this club does, that team doesn't. Like that's the difference here. And like that Man United team just was a lot of talk about like the quality of the game and stuff like that, but like finals are sort of give a fuck, like are like that. But Man United lacked a lot of quality to sort of to find a way.
Just on that, no, you're right. I think I didn't see any difference in quality from the Man United that we've beaten 3 times already this season.
Really, yeah.
Well, we've gone around beating them in 4 different ways as well.
Is that I saw that. Is that true? That stat? It's the first time in history someone's been beaten 4 times by another team. That feels like it can't be right, but
but you don't usually play a team 4 times, do you? It's very rare that you can do that.
Football,
I don't. It's Scottish football. I think probably Rangers being beaten myself.
Loads of time.
I don't know, but it just never felt like, despite them being super tense, it never felt. I didn't feel like Man United really had the quality to deal with this low block. Like what I was watching was what I've seen Spurs teams do to Tottenham all the time, and they can. It's hard to, if you're organised and you've got Romero and Van der Ven who are elite defenders. Yeah, we're going to be difficult to break through, and I didn't see much difference. But just want to go back to this quality thing because I knew that it was coming. I knew people would be critical, and it's obviously you've got to find ways. I think if you're an Arsenal fan, to find ways to beat Spurs with. I get it. I would be doing the same, right? Is it like I have done the same to Arsenal this season, like calling them Stoke and trying to wind them up, right?
Yeah.
There's no denying there's a quality outfit, right? But it's my job not to let them get away with it. Sure. So I understand it was coming, but then people going, well, it was a terrible final, it was terrible. It weren't for you. I get it. I understand you're watching it. You didn't have to watch it. I had to watch it. So what happened was my team won. And that is more important than the quality of the football team. We did what we needed to do. If we would have come out and played, we could have lost that game.
Absolutely. With the personnel, the game plan was the only logical thing that you should do. That's a midfield 3 that will not beat a player. You've got 2 wingers that are wide forwards that don't beat players. So you can't play that way. It's the counter press that's going to give you those opportunities, which is aligned with some of the things that, Tottenham generally do. And the goal came from that, and then getting bodies in the box because you've got those kind of players and putting good crosses in or trying to get enough crosses in with enough bodies in the box, and that was going to be the way that you were going to get it done. But I think that's the thing. There's a lot of double standards.
I loved your review as well, Jim. It was a lovely way to round off the evening because I've just had all this highs of the year. I've been hugging my dad and crying with my brother and hundreds of people grabbing me. I bet you were grabbed a lot. Did anyone grab you in areas that you aren't happy with? Or were you happy with it? We like that. Just go for it, lads. I didn't get grabbed on the dick, no, but I did. I did have lots of hands during the game. I think this thing is
just taps.
And you know what I'm like? I just struggle with
that. Yeah,
I don't like it. Anyway,
don't fucking touch me. Did you do that, anybody?
I did a couple of peeling people's hands off my shoulders and stuff. It was just a lot. I had like 6 hands on me at one stage, and I'm really anxious, right? And I know what I'm getting myself into, but it was a lot. But it was great, and everybody sort of afterwards like saying like the social's amazing, and I was like, this is incredible. We've done it. We all did this together. We've experienced this together, and it was like, yeah, that's amazing. And like by the time that half an hour after 45 minutes, I was like, you know what I'm like, my social battery just drains.
I was going to ask,
quickly. So anyway, we ended up going to another pub, had a pint, then it was closing, and we went back to this apartment we rented for my dad and my brother. And we watched some Sky Sports News, and we were watching clips on YouTube and all that amazing thing. And I got into bed, and I'll put on
little James Allcott. Cuddle with James.
Yeah, let's have a little. And I was just lying in bed. I was pissed and happy, and I just watched your review of the game.
Sensibly explaining how we got it done. Well, I'm pleased. No, yes.
And literally ended, and I was like, there we go.
Nice to have it. Nice to. I guess there are question marks on Amorim. Yeah, brilliant. I love that. I love that. I never think about the other side of my video. That's lovely. Let me know, Spurs fans. Where were you when you tucked into a sensible take from Jim? That's brilliant. That's made my day. That.
I want to tell you about an amazing moment, and it's very subtle. And oh man, I'm welling up thinking about it. Before the game, we went to the social earlier, and we were sitting around the table, and all my mates were talking to my dad, because we weren't going to bring my dad, right? Because it was, it was going to be on top, and he's 74 and that, but I couldn't not have him there, and I couldn't miss it, so it kind of got him to come, and all of my mates, 4 or 5 of us, were just talking to my dad, like, what's it like? Like, what's it like winning a European trophy? And
before the game, right?
Yeah, before the game, he was talking. We were talking to him about '84 when we won it at White Hart Lane. It used to be 2-legged then, and we had this return leg at White Hart Lane, and it was a penalty shootout, and he was in the stadium, and he was there in '74, I think it was the year before, and they were just genuinely on it. Had him just on tenterhooks, listening to him talk about what it was like watching Tony Parks saved from Good Johnson to lift the European trophy, the exact same trophy that we lifted, the exact same one. And they were just listening. He was like, yeah, it was incredible. And like, because we haven't had it since, like none of us in our lifetimes. I was 3 years old. I don't remember. And after the game, my dad was hugging my mate Alex. And then he went, there you go, mate. That's what it feels like. It was so good. It was so good. He was like passing it on. He remembered the conversation. He said to her, "That's what it feels like." There you go, and, mate. And Alex just sort of burst into tears. Oh, thanks, Dave. Thank you.
That's mad.
Oh, Christ.
He's got away, your dad, as well, and they just deliver a line, nice and simple.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, son. There you go.
That's great, man. Wow. Because I think that's the that's a really special thing that you have with the Fighting Cock, is that it is like, it's that extent. You've got that, you've all those friends that have come from it, and that extended family. And I was thinking there when you were talking about how everyone's kind of wanting because you're so brilliant. Like everyone wants to kind of, and everyone's proud that you're that Spurs guy for you. Like some of the people said that. Oh, my mate Craig said that to me last night. He said, "Oh, Flav's great. Like, isn't he? Like, he's the one you kind of want that." I was thinking, like, with that, when it is that social, I could imagine. It'd be so strange, but your lads just naturally kind of thinking, "Oh God, it's gonna happen." Where they'll think, "Where are you?" And then they're probably going to be. They do just want. It's almost like touching the trophy at the same time. Like they kind of want to have that hand on your shoulder. I know that might feel a bit much, but like they would kind of be like that, because that is what it's about, right? That is totally what it's about.
Well, I get when you're kind of listening to some, because you know what podcasts are like. You kind of develop like a a relationship with the people you're listening to, and so you want to. Yeah, you just want to be a part of that, I guess. I don't really know how to speak about it without it feeling awkward, but
it's great. It's great as well, though, because with I think the travel and you have to be in. You can't always be at the ground, and I think that's a privilege I have as in the few occasions with QPR is that I know I'm going to get a ticket and I know I can be there and that's all right and that's all easy. But that's not always the case, especially for big clubs. So for you to get 400 together, it's that's
it's not. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the what we've done. So people don't know, right? We on big games, away games, we've done this for about 7 or 8 years now, maybe longer. And so on certain games, it's not a regular thing, but on certain games, and if you push it too hard, it dissipates. The energy goes wrong. On certain games, away from home, we just say, if you listen to the Fighting Cock and you like what we're about, why not we all watch it together in this pub? But obviously, because of there's things like security and there's things like insurance and a contribution to the screening and stuff like that, so we charge a fee, and also you don't want people to pick up tickets for free and then not turn up. But they don't have to pay, right? You can go and watch football anywhere. You can go and watch it in the stadium and pay £10 or whatever it might be. But the tickets fly out, literally sold out within 20 minutes. People are desperate, and the amount of people are messaging me going, "Is there any chance we can? Any chance?" And you're like, "We've captured something. It's like lightning in a bottle. It's like that. Whatever happens in this weird Turkish restaurant, which is what it is, right? In its day, it's a Turkish restaurant, and then they give us it and go, "You can do whatever you want in here."
That's sick.
Anything you want. People are on the bars. Street, and I've got a video. I've sent you a video from Kev Brain, who works at Sky. Yeah. Mate, look at this video. This is the final whistle. You can play it if you want to.
Yeah.
This is the final whistle at the social. And this is, like I say, by daytime is a Turkish restaurant. Nighttime, when we're there, turns into just a social club for Tottenham Hotspur. And the energy in that room is hard to describe. And we went from like Tottenham, we went for a really barren, very barren run of not winning in these socials.
I remember, yeah.
Do you remember?
I stopped coming because I was kind of thinking they don't win when I go there. Yeah.
I was getting emails from people going, "Can you stop doing the socials because we're not winning?" And I'm like, you can't possibly think that because a group of men and women meet in a room that Tottenham are losing because of that.
Well, let's talk about that, because that was, and again, was this mental gymnastics or are you genuine? Did you have this genuine belief in this? And is it one that's kind of, made you feel like it even more? That was the big thing with the Carragher stuff, which was so good when it came out. Because actually, in hindsight, Carragher, for anyone who doesn't know, Flav does the fan debate on the overlap, and they're all sort of after you. And they were saying the thing which kind of is logical, but sorry, I got a cough, guys. The certainty with which Jamie Carragher said to you, if you play Man United in a European final, there's no way you can beat them. Which, if you take
me a right favour there,
oh mate, you look cold. But if you take out, because if you try and be as logical as possible, that doesn't make any sense. Of course, you're above them in the league. Man United above them in the league, but they've beaten you 3 times. So where are you getting that from? But it's all the things that are surrounding Spurs that's another thing Ange said I thought was good. It's if we'd finished third, nothing would have actually changed here. Needed to actually win something. But yeah, so do you think even more than ever now, and all those things like history and those things, do you think it's just that feels like more nonsense than ever?
It was always nonsense. It was always nonsense. And I said that. I said it's not real. In the moment, I said that those are intangibles. They're not real. I get the narratives that are created by broadcasters because that's good to spin a yarn when you're talking about a football match.
It's common. It's like life as well, isn't it? We look for patterns, don't we?
Of course we do. No, I understand it. I've got no problem with it. I don't mind, people talking about the European heritage and all that stuff. It's just bollocks, though. It doesn't mean anything. No, there's a European pedigree around Manchester United. Let me reverse it something and show you how stupid this is. Arsenal have won a Fairs Cup and a Cup Winners' Cup, which is now a defunct competition. A Fairs Cup, no one can remember what year they were in it, right? No one can remember the format or who they played. That's how irrelevant that competition is. Spurs, however, have a Cup Winners' Cup, if we're going to count that. And we have 3 European trophies now, Europa Leagues or UEFA Cups. Who out of Tottenham and Arsenal have the greater European pedigree? Tottenham. If Tottenham and Arsenal were playing the Europa League final, would that European pedigree count for anything? No. The likelihood and the favourites would be Arsenal because they have all of the advantages. Going into this game against Manchester United, there was no advantage for either team. It was a 50-50 game. One was going to come out a winner. It was going to be close. Yeah. And God willing, it's Spurs. It has nothing to do with European heritage. It's nonsense. So when Jamie Carragher said, no, it is real, and I listened to it and I was like, good. And then he said, there is no chance Manchester United win this. I'm like, I've got a 50-50 shot here of being right. Because I know it's 50-50. He's gone 100% United. If we win, this is going to be good. And mate, I can't even open my Instagram because it's
everywhere.
Got so much. It's everywhere.
Really?
Like,
yeah. How many? Yeah, God, I bet your notifications have been an absolute joke.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can't keep track of it really, but the
Do you know where it all began, though? I mean, we say it wasn't preordained and it wasn't destiny, but
yeah. Huh? And the guy. I mean, Archie Gray come on, so you should keep.
It did come on. Yeah, we could hold him up too.
Let's hold him up too.
There was a header that sort of glanced his hair near the end.
Yeah,
mate. Honestly, I was like, I put a bet on it. I put a bet on.
You put a bet on?
Van de Ven any time. Spurs in normal time.
So people that don't know, because not everyone watching this will be a Patreon of ours. And you can join up if there's a link in our description. But we were doing our second podcast behind there called The Mailbag. And James had some
Tops cards. Give him a shout out.
Tops cards. And he just opened them. He's had these cards for months and he opened them. And these are the 3 cards he drew from that pack just before we played Man United. First
one was Bilbao.
So you can get any cup competition.
Bilbao finals, yeah, ridiculous. Road to finals, okay. Then we had a few more. One thing I thought it might be a case of, and actually maybe there is a talking point here. Maybe we're finding it out now. But then Archie Gray popped out. There he is, Archie. And then who probably within the Europa League has played a huge part. Let's say, why not? Then here's a talking point. David De Gea. Now, David De Gea of Fiorentina, who were in the Conference League, but of course played in a Europa League final where Man United lost, and he missed the penalty, didn't he? And it went all the way round. He had a tricky season. But Anana has had some pelters after this game for not getting in the way of the goal. The fallout from Man United fans has been absolutely ridiculous. But sorry, just to finish off that point. And then the final card, Kings of Europe, Van de Ven.
I don't even understand why they've made that card. Like, this was created months and months and months ago. Why does that card exist?
Because they knew. They must have known.
Did they create one for every team that's in the Europa League?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
So I might WhatsApp our guy at Tops Cards. So why was this created?
And he probably won't reply.
Mate, he won.
Imagine that you're busy on a Friday and you're just like, I don't know, do I? I don't know, Flav.
Why? That save off the line was as important as a goal. Obviously, it was just that won us the game.
Yeah, everyone was absolutely certain he'd done his hamstring as well. Weren't you? You were just like, you could hear it. You just hear a ping, couldn't you? And then he got up and carried on. Well done, Van de Ven. Yeah, how do you feel about? I did a video yesterday about this, talking about like Man United, because I think if Spurs had lost, you would have been. I think you would have been really angry, of course, and I think Ange would have been in huge trouble. I need to ask you about that actually as well.
Yeah.
But I think the fallout here with Man United was always going to be bigger. if they didn't get it done. I think there would have been that acceptance of, this is, we got injuries. Man United had a few players back, blah, blah, blah. But United fans are very angry. Very angry. Thoughts?
Mm.
Been too busy winning, haven't you? You've been too busy winning, haven't you?
I mean, it's not great, is it? I mean, they're 16th in the league. They haven't won. Not qualifying for Champions League, which they're all obsessed with, makes things very difficult for Ratcliffe and for United. I was listening to Kieran Maguire on Sky Sports, and he was talking about the financial ramifications. They're massive. I didn't realise how important this was for Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal. Sorry, this is important. It was for United. It was important for Tottenham because it creates an opportunity for us to strengthen the squad. Are we going to win the Champions League? No. If we make it out of the group stages, that's great because it's about revenue, but we got no shot at the moment.
Yeah.
But it does give you, if you guaranteed £100 million out of nowhere, it gives you an opportunity. But with United, they've got £300 million in amortization costs. They're players that aren't good enough for his system. He's not going to have a transfer budget to fix it. It's just madness. He's got a Casemiro is another year old. He's got big problems. It was a lifeline for them, but
can I read out a comment from my boy, Wilderness Kid, who I didn't realise he's an old friend, and I didn't realise. I just read the comment and pinned it because I thought that's a great comment, and it's true. He said, this is on the video I did yesterday. Man United are in big trouble. Wilderness Kid, he said, the scouting team need to earn their bread, finally. None of this 80 million plus overpaying bollocks anymore. We need 15 mil gems who are determined, professional and talented. If we sell all of the waste, we'll cover lost revenue from the Champions League. The reputation is sadly in bits. He's talking about Amorim now. Amorim's stubborn tactics go against everything I was raised with. Start a team to beat an opponent. Not play the same failing approach over and over. Because guess what? You'll lose finals and finish bottom half. Amorim in, only to spare the nonsense of trying to find someone else.
Yeah, no, I know, I appreciate that. But I think criticising Amorim when he's been brought in to do a job, he's 40 years old. He's 4 years into his managerial career. And those 4 years have been spent at Sporting and everything worked. And he was given every opportunity. He's been brought in. This isn't on Amorim. It's on Ratcliffe. The decision to bring him in means that you have to back him. You might say...
it's so hard, isn't it? Because, Ange has been applauded for tweaking, though, hasn't he, today? In this final.
Yeah, Ange has been a manager for 28 years, all over the world. He's seen footballs. Amorim has a system that's worked for him, and suddenly he's going to go, fuck, I have to do something else? No, it's not as simple as that. But... yeah, maybe he should have done something else. What else should he have done for that Champions League final? Sorry, for Europa League final. What should he have done that he didn't do?
Well, as I said in the video. By the way, someone wrote a comment going, "You don't get £50 million gems anymore." This whole comment is utter nonsense. You know what he means? He means cheap. Yeah. He means cheap, really good players. And you do actually. Iliman and Jai was 12.6 million. He's been absolutely unreal for Everton. And because this is sort of
Labour was 20 million?
Hoyson, how much was Hoyson? Hoyson was cheap.
12, 15.
Thank you very much.
Do your work, do your job. Hasn't Ratcliffe? He's shrunk their scouting department by about 60%.
I saw I saw a clip. Alan Partridge when he's not got the second series, and he's coming in. He goes, "Who's left that mug there?" Right, you're fired. And he's just going around saying that's Ratcliffe.
The biggest worry if you're a United fan is Jim Ratcliffe. For me, if you're a owner of a football club, he terrifies me. If I was a United fan.
But sorry, to answer your question, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry. What should they have done?
My concern here is, from an attacking point of view, Spurs let you have the ball, and when I look at if you look at say Newcastle, right, and Man United, okay, they brought in really good, young, hungry players, and then some gems knocking about as well, right? And okay, they've spent money, right, but they've also they've also really developed players. You know, Dan Burn. Dan Burn has come in and done brilliantly for them. Kieran Trippier is a really clever one. Obviously got a great pedigree, but he's done a really good job for them. Livramento, Hall, Jacob Murphy has developed into a really, 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 really productive player for Man United. So I like Amorim.
Newcastle.
Sorry, for Newcastle. So with Amorim, I like him. I do. But when you've got a Spurs team that's not got any of these midfielders that have got that goal and then kind of defending for their lives, from an attacking point of view, why has Højlund not got any better? Why are so few chances being created? Why is there that leaning on Fernandes to just, well, do something, Bruno? Like that,
and a mad, get it out to a mad, beat your man, do something.
And I appreciate confidence is low and they're tired, but like, when it comes to the system, that system should be flowing by now. That system should be flowing by. Like, you've had, like, you can't, like, there's 5-6 games, fine. That team should be more effective from an attacking point of view with the players in that team. I mean, that is the thing I'm always wondering is, like, with players, is your stock goes up and down. But, like, Mason, like, people will tear this apart, feel free. Mason Mount has an incredible pedigree. He's of a good age. Like, he's a really good technical player. He's a good footballer. Doesn't get given the ball. Like Mazraoui's played over 4,000 minutes this year. Like that's too much. I get that, but he is a good player. Yeah, Yoro's a good player. So there's some good players there. Diallo, you know, everyone's feels quite clear that he's a good player. So at some point, you've got to get a little bit more out of this group.
No, I agree with you. But the same questions were asked of Ten Hag, and he couldn't do it. And the brand of football Ten Hag was playing at Ajax was some of the best I've seen. Like, we had no right to beat them in that Champions League final. And beyond that as well, he just had a really exciting bunch of players that worked in his system, and they were really good.
Hugely talented players as well. You know, players like Frenkie de Jong and that. Like,
Frenkie de Jong, you had Van der Beek, you had De Ligt, you had Ziyech. Loads of really, really good. Anana in goal. Loads of good players.
Loads of players that failed at Man United. But this is my point. It's like I think the manager. Look at Bournemouth. Look at Bournemouth. Sorry, look at Bournemouth here. Like, again, these Kirkes, like Huijsen, all these players that come through. Mate, Ryan Christie is a cracking midfielder. Right, and I appreciate the spotlight is different, and I think that's always a big, big thing. But I think at some point, and that's what I kind of could see coming, was the fact that, and it would have been so different if Diallo scores that goal right at the start, they get it done, he's got away with it, fine. Because I think that's another question, like, I want to ask you about, is Ange, is like, if you do strip it back, because you'd said, either way, he needs to go, right? And actually, if you are being logical, because Ten Hag last year, everyone they did the same thing. You went, you can't sack him, and it was. I understand the take, but it's obviously didn't work out.
My head, I know you're gonna ask. My head says you should probably look to the future. I don't want to say the word sack him. Look to the future.
Do you know what the question? The real question here is do you want to miss out on Iraola or Silva? Is there a manager? That's the real question here, because I think you're completely within your rights to go, look, Ange, do you know what? You've got us to that point, and there have been a lot of injuries, so we're going to give you, you've got till Christmas, and like, can you get this right, and can you deal with Champions League football and the Premier League and all those things? Give him that opportunity, but I do think you kind of need to earmark who you want as that next manager, and if it's Iraola and you're like, this guy is the second coming of Christ, you kind of have to make that call.
Yeah, if the opportunity is there, perhaps you do. I don't think it's Iraola or Marco Silva, even though they are good managers. It doesn't move the needle enough. It's not inspiring enough to sack him. Like, we've been saying this for ages on the podcast. He's definitely here till November. and then the season will start poorly, and we'll go, oh god, it hasn't worked, and then sack him. But it might not.
Yeah,
and
start well. That's it.
It start well, and now winning that game means that Romero will stay for another season, right? Because he's got 2 years left on his contract. We've got a European Champions League campaign. It would cost Atleti, if it is that, it was bound to be, Simeone. It would cost him a fortune now, because we don't need to raise the revenue. So, and we want him and need him for the Champions League campaign. And his value to us would be the same in a year as it is now, if we're going to sell him. If they want to bid 40, 50 million in a year, which is what they're planning on coming in euros this year. So if we can keep him and Van de Ven and keep them fit for a season, Spurs, I know we finished 17th, and I've said this so many times, but we are a different team when we have those two defenders in there. If we can find a way of not spending 4 months of the season without our main goalkeeper and two main defenders, then maybe we'd do all right. Maybe we will finish in the top half.
So Jensen Green Shield said a little while back, he said, the confidence of having our back four made me so much less nervous in that last 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
Smart move to put Danso on there as well. An obvious move, but nothing genius. But at least he did it and didn't go, no, this is who we are, mate. Like, he actually did tweak. Yeah, I think, because that is...
Is there a middle ground?
Do you know what you've seen this week as well? You've seen the clips of Klopp talking about we couldn't win the league this year. It's from a couple of years ago. It's like, if you lose two centre-backs and three of your some of your forward line, it's impossible. And Arsenal fans are clipping that up and putting that out there. To the same point, as bad... Because I think with the league, it's one where from when... March, you've gone, forget the league. We've got to keep going. We've got to sort of focus on this. So the injuries were from, let's say, November to March, weren't they? So it's been a bit clunky from a mindset point of view.
Yeah, we got Van de Ven back properly for the Frankfurt game.
Right.
And he hasn't played any Premier League games. He played 45 minutes in one Premier League game. He started, and everyone was like, why have you started him? And he lasted until half time. I think it was just to get him minutes because he'd been out. I've only played Europa League football. That's all Romero and Van de Ven have done. So, yeah, you're right. And Arsenal, there is a point. They have got a point. Like, of course, they do talk about their injury crisis like they've had it their entire season. But it was at a key time when they lost Havertz.
That's key men, isn't it? It's like Saka. Saka's such a huge percentage of the goal output.
Can't replace him. You can't replace him, and we couldn't replace Van de Ven and Romero. And behind the scenes, we had, I don't know if you know the situation with our injury setup, but we sacked our entire. This has since come out. We sacked every member of our medical department. They all got sacked at the same time, and Ange Postecoglou was going, "Don't do this.
Don't sack them all, please.
They're not doing a good job, but we need people." And so players were getting injured and being treated by
Ange.
Yeah, Ange himself. Who's going, you go, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Bend over, mate. Yeah. Bend over, mate. Take this.
Is that on that Hemi, is it again, Mickey?
Yeah. But butt talk. What about your butt talk?
Yeah.
He's so there's that work needs to be done, but you just think, oh man, fuck it, give him another go.
Yeah, I think that is the truth. Very good. God, you got the power that your dad has. Just making it simple.
Let's just see what happens.
Hey, mate, fuck it, give the lad another go. There is something about him, isn't there? There is something about him that is like, he's not... Look, and I think when you're winning, he's like crack for football fans. Like, the stuff he says, the being bullish and saying it with your chest. But when you're losing, it feels petulant. And that's what we've had to experience with him this year, which has been confusing.
Yeah, and it's going to rub people up the wrong way. But what you just said there about being bullish, we haven't had a manager who's bullish and is defensive of our club. We've had a manager who, in Mourinho, was like doing us a favour. And Conte just felt like he didn't want to be there from the start, right? Mm. When things got tough with him, he said this club will never win anything. Same chairman, 20 years, nothing changes, nothing will change. And then he left. When things got bad for us, he said, Postecoglou said, this is on me. I always win things in my second season. And you hear him and you're like, that, I would run through brick walls for that man. but we've got to stop fucking losing in every game in the Premier League, right? Yeah. But he's the right man to change the football club, because what Jamie Carragher and what Gary Neville and what most people think about Tottenham is one thing, and that's how we're spoken about. And Ange Postecoglou, regardless of where we finish in the league, has changed that to some degree by winning a trophy. Yeah. We've done what people said we couldn't do. Jamie Carragher gave us no chance, 0% chance. And he did it, and we did it. And like, that was what that moment was about when we won. Like, same for Palace, same for Newcastle, same for Bologna in Italy. Was it Botafogo as well? They did it. There's just this year has been an opportunity for teams that have never won to do something special. It was getting over the line. It was the magical moment. Like, if any neutral who didn't really care who won, watching that game must have been happy to see Spurs win over United. They must have.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think I said Kai laughed because I said something like, I didn't say go on Spurs. I said go on Flav. But also, just to I think just to finish on the Ange thing, and I think we said this a long time ago. It's like you'd had managers that were like standing up here, going, "Come on, like hurry up." Whereas I think with Ange, he's like, "Look, just come with me." He's come down to you to hold your hand to take you there, and so when you're trying to get through all that, I think what would be a huge shame, because some people are saying that he should go. Conor O'Reilly, I think he's had a couple of salty comments in here, by the way. Conor, I'm just gonna have to say it, mate. Are you Man United fans? Is that what this is? The club has been driven into oblivion by the Glazers. Now Ineos are here to join the party. Mason Mount hasn't been a good player for 3 seasons. Where's he been playing? Like, something's not right. Like, he's not. It's not that he's not a good player, though, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I think there's more going on at Tottenham than for Ange. There's just mitigating circumstances for this season, and he said himself, we chose to concentrate on the Europa League. You have to believe that that's the truth. We're making 8 changes for Premier League sides. Let's just see what happens. I don't. What difference does it make, man? All right, it doesn't work in November. Yeah. We get a new manager, and it just.
Do you know what I think?
What if it works? What if the storyline continues? Yeah, that would be something great.
That's the point. I think that's the point here. Is like, what if he is the guy? And this is sort of like, you've got, like Arteta had his tough years, and you've got to get through that, right? So you've done that bit. So it would be such a shame to like not give him the opportunity to run with it. But yeah, obviously, they got to stay healthy. Like, you can't do anything. You need that whole team flying, really, because like you see, like your back four is when they're together. You've got an option for him. Yeah, you've got an opportunity. Yeah, it's true.
Just something you might not have noticed, James, or people might not have noticed. So do you notice that they changed ends? So United run a toss.
No.
And they changed ends. So United wanted to kick towards the United end, and Spurs were kicking towards it. So originally it was the other way around anyway. And Romero grabbed the players and walked into the United end. So you imagine they're playing here and they've swapped, right? And Spurs are over here now. They were over here. And they were doing the huddle, and Romero grabbed them and went back to the Spurs end and did the huddle in front of the Spurs players in the United end. And then they went back to their positions. It was like, this is our territory. There's nothing you can do about this. This is our half. It's fucking gully. Maybe I'm adding a bit of flourish to that, but
who cares, mate? Got some questions for you from peeps. Oh, and actually, last thing I'll say, and we will show you the video that Flav sent me, by the way. How the moment, what was better? Describe the goal for me. Like, what was? The other question I had was, in the second half when you're all together and it's a pressure cooker. What's being sort of shouted?
Yeah, all right. I can give you some of that.
Just that was on my mind.
It was a very. I will never forget it. Right. So the goal was it was bizarre because we didn't know it had gone in. There was a couple of people that saw it had gone in and started celebrating, and like it was like a delay, and then everyone sort of exploded in celebration, and then, but yes, that pressure cooker moment, right? There was some people. There was a geezer behind me who'd obviously partaken in, a certain brand of narcotic that amps you up,
sure,
and lots of it. In fact, I watched him just grab a load of it and just go like that, right? And I was like, fucking hell. And he's massive as well. The geezer he's a unit, and I was like, Jesus, he's either gonna have a heart attack or kill someone. Anyway, and he was just going, we've got this, Tottenham. Nothing's going to stop Tottenham. This is fucking... He was convinced from the start that we were going to win, and he was going to tell everybody in this pub until he couldn't speak anymore that Spurs were going to win. So you had this constant positive, also somewhat kind of like, this is too much positivity there, like that. But most people, as you can imagine in these circumstances, is they're biting their nails. They're looking and you're counting down these seconds and these minutes, and obviously it's going so slowly. And then you're looking, you're thinking how much injury time's going to play, and you're kind of watching it and breaking down every play, and you're using every minuscule of understanding of football that you've had to see gaps in defences that may or may not be there, and possible opportunities for Manchester United. And it actually only resulted in a fumble from our goalkeeper, which really gave them a clear-cut opportunity, which we defended through Van der Ven. So you're looking at all this stuff, but at the same time, you're just racked in anxiety and fear and just a wondering, like, can football really be this cruel again? Is there a way that we're going to lose this? Because I am more desperate for this to happen than anything I've ever been in my life. Just can it happen? And will I have to once again process the idea of Spurs at the very last minute failing, and Man United scoring and watching their players wheel away? Because emotionally and on an energy level, I didn't have another 30 minutes in me. I did not have extra time in me. I was absolutely shattered, drained. And then the final whistle went, and it was all just gone.
You're going.
Yeah, it's all just gone. It was the energy, any anxiety we had, it was like, we've done it. There's nothing else to worry about. There's nothing else to... Like, beating Frankfurt was like, oh, well, we've got Bodo Glimt, and we're going to have to go away in their AstroTurf pitch, and their fans are fucking really confident. That's worrying. Why not? So, and then you beat Bodo Glimt, and then immediately, James, you're going, fuck, when's the final? 13 days. But the final's in 13 days. That doesn't feel like a long time. And it's there. You're there. You're in front of the telly, and it's kicked off, and it's like no time has passed since when you've beaten Bodo Glimt. So you've just got this constant pressure throughout it all, and then the final whistle goes, and it's just everything's gone, and you've done it. You've fucking done it. And that was a moment I probably will never live through again. Even if we win another thing, it'll be different. But that was special.
That's amazing, mate. Ben Bowman is in the chat. Ben, can you do me a
favor?
Yeah. Can you come into Discord, please, mate? Is that possible? And
he might be on his way to the parade.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, if he's on his way to the parade, we'll find. Well, he'll say in a second. Questions from people. How does it feel to publicly mug off Jamie Carragher and see Spurs win the Europa League? It's from Harold.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people going,
making it more serious than it needs to be.
Yeah, I can't wait for the overlap. What are you expecting me to? What are you expecting me to do? What do I do? One recommendation was just put on a pair of sunglasses and sit there, but I don't think I have the confidence to do that. I think it's too much. It's his job to give opinions and be strong in those opinions. I don't think there's anything wrong. I disagreed with what he said for obvious reasons. And bearing in mind, they've clipped it up beautifully, the overlap. They've got Naka doing that. They've clipped it up.
Just you wait.
I was happy for Spurs. I was happy that Spurs fans had that little moment that was clipped up, and they can use that because it was ballsiness. That's what I wanted it to be. Was we've got some bollocks about us.
Yeah.
Right. We're not worried about this. We're going to win this competition. That's what I wanted it to be. And then we bloody well won. It wasn't bearing in mind, I was acutely aware of that clip as
really?
we were moving towards the final whistle. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was aware of it because...
will you demand an apology? That's what Harry's saying.
No, I don't need an apology. I will sit there and have a smug grin on my face. It's not to apologise.
Ottawa Hotspur says, can you still sail an 18th century merchant vessel with the mast you've got in your jeans?
There was a few wrecking up individuals.
Yeah. Goutside, did you watch it with your old man? Was it as glorious as that you both dreamed? Yeah, it's just to paint the final picture with that. Where was Dad? Where were brothers? Or at final whistle?
Packed together.
Nice.
Packed together. Nice. You'll see in this video I'm in it and I'm with my brother. He has a hat on. We're celebrating together. My dad's on the left-hand side. My brother Joe's also there. And my dad goes down. He went down in the pub. He got someone hit him behind and he just went over.
Was he right?
Yeah, he was fine. He just banged his elbow, but it could have been worse. I didn't even know he was down. My brothers went, "Dad's on the floor." But we were packed together. Packed together. It was beautiful.
Callum McAllister, is Just You Wait colder than I Always Win Thins in my second year?
I think
everyone's buzzing for that. Everyone was buzzing for that.
It's just so good, so good. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Are you going to get Just You Wait tattooed? I actually think that is good. That's an only forwards level of comment. Just You Wait. So strong.
Tattooed on my body.
So
yeah, strong. I mean, the thing is that you can, like I said earlier, when he went so strong in United, I thought this is brilliant. Like that's exactly what you want, because you don't want him to go, oh no, I think you've got a chance, because nothing lands. But when he went
big,
there was no chance Man United lose the game. It's like, yeah.
What else are we going? It's all about kicking on. Let's have a moment to touch on some of the players we could bring in this summer. A couple in my mind, Cherky and Vlahovic. Massive for the transfer kitty, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, isn't the Leon lad fucking mental?
Jerky.
I've heard he's like a loose cannon, like very difficult to handle.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure. Who's had a better season, Leeds or Tottenham? Considering both won Division 2 trophies, but Leeds have done it over 46 games rather than 8. I'd have to say Leeds. Oh, that's from a Saliba lad. Oh dear.
Well, we know that Leeds haven't won a trophy. They've won promotion. There is a trophy attached to it, but you
have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing from this week? Unbelievable.
I mean, look, this is the narrative that's been raging on, is that who's had the better season last. We don't have to talk like this. We don't have to talk in these terms, but who's had the better season between
because it's clear
Tottenham and Arsenal. I mean, I don't want to enter the chat about this really, but like if we'd have finished third, as Ange says, who cares? Like you got Champions League football.
Yeah, we ain't won nothing. It doesn't really talk like that. But,
I wonder if it does change the way, like if anyone, like what, because the narrative Spurs don't win anything. What a trophy. Where's your trophy cabinet? I wonder if I'm interested to know.
Yeah, will the discourse change? The ripple effects could be high and wide.
Yeah, I wonder where they're going with this now. What's the next thing going to be?
Ben Bowman, are you coming in or not? I really need a wee. I'll have a wee and I'll cut it out. 1 sec. And then we'll show you the video and then we'll go.
Did you... I've just been sent a image from Rory Jennings, which is it was a Europa League trophy with Ferguson's famous quote, which was, "Lads, it's Tottenham." Obviously, there's this kind of this is basically where the energy from Carragher and Gary Neville comes from when talking about Tottenham, is that it's like we're easy to beat. We've got this sort of yellow belly and a weak underbelly rather, and not sort of game for it. And Ferguson just and Keane has reiterated it in past, and it's like this idea that Spurs are easily beat. So United fans are produce these t-shirts just "Lads, it's Tottenham," and you're just like, you go too old, you're too big, you take pictures, you share it on the internet, and then you look like fucking idiots. And that's the thing is, like, after the game, like if you think like Spurs have got a parade planned this afternoon as we record, you got every member of Spurs' staff is out there. They've run out of medals to give to players, and United, they organised the barbecue. So they're just. I was just saying about these T-shirts that I don't know if you've seen these, but there's a picture going around of lads. It's Tottenham T-shirts that were for sale by Man United fans.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Do you know what it's the parade for the parade? Do you know what my fear would be if I was a Spurs fan? Would be the fact that what if they do the like red flares? If there's some Arsenal fans who've been doing that, let's see what Everton fans did.
How did they go about doing it? Didn't they sell them online as blue fares, or did they just turn up and let them off?
They changed. No, I think they changed all the stickers.
God,
so bought them all, changed the stickers, and sold them.
I'm sure they might try and do that. I mean, if they do, they do. Right. What can you do? It's what they've tricked a couple of people into buying something. That's what's happened.
Is Bowman here?
No.
He says he's coming in.
You better fucking hurry up.
Yeah.
We've
got 5 seconds, Bowman. 5, 4.
We're gonna play the video. Play the video. Or did you want to play it out?
No, let's play the video.
This is Kev. He's just checking if it was recording these times. He definitely didn't want to miss it.
Right.
Yeah.
Kim, he's buzzing. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, that's my brother.
I love Kev. Yeah.
That's what we do it, mate.
That's class.
That was it as well.
Wow, that place is amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
Isn't it mad football? You can grab people and hug people. It's just the best. Like, isn't that so lucky to have something like that in your life? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's the thing that's greater than yourself that you've all bonded to. It's religion. It's important. Like, no, that feeling from the anxiety and angst to the pure euphoria. There's nothing in the world that creates that like sport. Nothing. Certainly football. There he is.
Morning, boys.
Is there anything you'd like to say, beginning with woe?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Ben has had a journey.
Yeah.
Literally just got back. When did you get back, Ben? Last night?
About 12:30 last night.
Mate, just to say, like, obviously, I saw you on the TNT thing. I'm so proud of you, mate. You've had such an incredible year. Well done.
He's had a worldie of a year from starting at TikTok. About how long? When did you start, Ben?
It was September last season, so after the North London derby, I think. So September 2023.
It's insane, your growth. Unreal.
Mate, yeah.
Graft.
Yeah, graft.
I owe you boys a lot. You guys have helped me out so much. This Europa League is for all of us.
Okay. How was how was Bilbao? What's just add you up? Obviously, because we can't go on forever. But is there
right? Call his name. Just boost his audio up.
All right. Is there a moment that you would like to talk to us about when it comes to this whole experience? Because you're an articulate fellow.
I mean, it was the best 3 days of my life. Like, we went out on the Tuesday, and obviously this always happens with European finals, as obviously we would know, we've been to 2 now, that trying to get there is a bit of a nightmare. So it was a bit, the journey was part of the best part. We went to Porto on the Tuesday, spent the day there, and then got to Bilbao Tuesday evening. Streets just flooded with Spurs fans. I didn't see many United fans there, I'm going to be honest. And it was just a big party. We all felt like it was kind of ours then. It was like, obviously, we had to get through the Wednesday and get through the game, but it was just like, it just felt like it was in the air and we were going to do it. And everyone was confident. And then Wednesday comes around, the whole day just in the fan zone with, must have been like, there's allocations like 15,000. I reckon there was another 15,000 Spurs fans on top of that. Just all day, non-stop, singing, drinking, get to the ground. And it was just like, I don't think I ever want to watch that game of football back again, because it was the most stressful thing I think I've ever been through. But the moment Van der Ven cleared that ball off the line with about 20 minutes to go, I was like...
Was it that long?
I think it was about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 15. Maybe 15.
It was around then.
Mate, in my head, it was like the 90th minute. That's how I remember it.
Really? No.
Yeah.
There was loads left.
Sorry, go on, Ben. But
it was just like, it didn't really sink in until the day after, because I think you just like, I've seen us win 2 trophies in my life, and it was like, it's not something that you're sort of really used to, and it was just like, I don't know, like being there with my best mate who I've been going to Spurs with my whole life, home and away, was in Frankfurt with him a few months ago, like his lot who we always go with, like it's just, that's what you do it for, being around those people that you've been on that journey with. And it was just elation, like at the moment it happened. And then with everyone after, it just felt like, because the game was so stressful and so draining, it was just like you couldn't really take it all in. And it was just like, it was the following day when we was on our journey back, and I was sat there and I was about to do my YouTube video, and then it just all just hit me, and it was just like, I was thinking about it, I was talking about it, and I just that's when you just burst into tears and just like, this is why we do it. And then every single piece of content you see outside of that, you just go again. Like, we've been sending things in the group chat all morning. Like, it's just like, oh mate, it was unbelievable. Yesterday was like, we were up at 7 o'clock, got a coach back. We were basically travelling from 7:30 until about 12 o'clock, just coaches, planes, trains. It was just like, but it was all worth it. And amazing. Yeah, it was the best few days of my life, mate. Unbelievable.
And if there's ever a man made for a parade, it's you, Ben, because you'll be able to see. You're going to piss so many people off today. You're going to piss so many people off.
You're like, sorry, mate. Can I just stand? No,
sorry, mate. I am just tall.
I was so glad when he said he was going to Bilbao rather than coming to the social, because like we already had John Bass there blocking half the audience. That's a pair of them.
Amazing, man.
Mate, I'm so jealous that you go, I can't get to the parade. Obviously, we're doing this and it's just too far away now. But mate, have a great time. What's your plan?
I'm meeting my stepdad in about an hour and a half, and then we're gonna go straight down there, go to the pub, because I wasn't with him. He couldn't come.
Yeah.
To Bilbao, so I haven't seen him yet. So we're gonna go for a few drinks around Tottenham. And it starts at 5:30, but I think everyone's gonna be down there this afternoon. It's gonna be carnage. So yeah, and
maybe I can get on the train.
Mate, I'm just thinking it, man.
Get on the train. They're gonna need riot police to get us out of Tottenham tonight. It's gonna go on for ages. Just get on a train.
Just get on the train, Flav. Never, you will absolutely not regret it.
Maybe
you need. So let's wrap up, because Flav's got places to be. Right, congratulations to you all. Well done, Ben, mate. Yeah, again, just thrilled for you, mate. Keep doing your thing. Flav, congratulations. Our first Jaffin trophy. There you go.
Come on, you Spurs.
Indeed.
Fucking did it. We fucking did it.
Just you wait. Right, guys. Yeah. If you want to join us on Patreon, you can do. Links in the description. If not, don't worry about it. Have a great weekend, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Cheers.